Energy, another big issue, right? You said it's all about the economy, but with gas prices really high, you have to.
Well, you know, that
you
is
have to talk about. You have to talk about the other sources of energy and what we do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the gas prices are definitely one of the big triggers. Everybody feels that. Probably like once a week, twice a week, you got to fill up your tank. If gas stays this high, that's another bad thing for getting reelected. And yeah, then we got to talk about what are our alternative sources of energy and what is the deal with nuclear? What do we and don't we understand? I grew up less than 10 miles from 3 Mile Island. I actually. When they were talking about evacuation, I stayed. Was that like probably a stupid thing to do? Probably, but I'm 50 and I'm healthy. I'm doing okay. And so is everybody that I know of that grew up where I grew up. But still, it, you know, I live right down the now. I live in Westchester County, very close to the plant that they're at this morning. It is a concern. While it's safe, definitely in a million different ways. If there's an earthquake, we just found out the hard way, or a tsunami, what can possibly happen? Forget about it. Terrorists flying into it.
But how, the chances of an earthquake or a tsunami in Westchester County? I mean, you don't think about it on a daily basis. I cannot imagine you wake up and go,
I've never thought about it.
I hope there's not a tsunami here in Westchester.
I've never thought about it once, but then I watched what happened in Japan, and you got to wonder how much they thought about it.
Earthquakes.
Not the kind that they just had. I'm not worrying about that on any given day. I am pro-nuclear energy.
Has Al Gore been scaring you? Has he been scaring you?
No, he's not scaring me. No, not at all. I'm not in the least.
Too many Will Smith movies.
And you know what? I hope my kid's watching this right now, so he knows too. Not in the least.
But it's true. You did bring up an interesting point. Gas prices, very important point, too. Well, gas prices, if they're high before an election, whether it's right or not, they blame the president.
Of course, these are touch points for everybody in all the. We're not talking about New York City and L.A. We kind of live different lives in big cities than most of the country lives, and regardless, we still touch point. I fill up my tank twice a week. $60 to fill up twice a week. So $60. It used to, when I was a kid, it was $5 to fill up my tank. $60, you know, that touches me twice a week.
So what if the president continues to blame oil companies and blame speculators, right? He wants to take away the subsidies of the big energy companies, which
he can blame.
A majority of the American people agree with. You look at the polling, they say, look at Exxon's profits. They were released last week. Big numbers, huge numbers. I know he can blame them all he wants. It doesn't change the price of the pump. But are some people going to sympathize with him at some point and say he really doesn't have control?
Yeah, anybody who wants to play the victim role. I mean, when you blame the oil companies, you know, the sort of these spherical son of a bitch. It's them. It's them. It's them. What we don't need a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blame. Well, what's our solution?
Answers.
Let's come up with answers.
Yeah, people want answers.
Yep, they sure do.
We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back.